When you set a goal, what's the most important part? Like achieving the goal or what you learn in the process?
I believe it. Honestly, it's more of what you learn in the process.
Yeah.
Now, you're not going to hit every goal.
No.
That's the honest truth.
And we're live, cuzzo. Hit him with that intro.
And we are back. Welcome back to the Electors Podcast. This will be episode 26. We're going to cover a couple different topics today. So with all that being said, jeez.
Yeah, hey,
all right,
he's excited.
Yeah, I know, man. Let's get into it. Okay,
yeah.
so
hey, but real quick though, I just want to show him this hoodie.
Hey, what? Hey, that's a real clean hoodie,
this
man.
Is a clean
that's
hoodie,
real
man.
clean, man. Where'd you get that at, man? Where'd you get that hoodie at?
Hey, the hoodie is out on the store. We're super excited because this hoodie came out real nice, and the stitching's really nice.
Yeah, it did.
On the back, I got the logo. We'll have to throw a picture up on there for him.
Yep. And the hat's clean too.
The hat's clean, so we changed. We finally got the design, so we kept the E in the middle.
Yeah.
And then we put the electives
on
right
the side,
on the side right there. Yeah.
So we're going for less is more.
That's
we're not trying to confuse a bunch of people. It's just real simple, man, with what we wanted to go with. But it's simple, it's clean, and we would really love and appreciate it if you guys just went and purchased either a hat or a hoodie or eventually a T-shirt. So
we got a coffee mug on there too, if you like.
Coffee mug. Yeah. I forgot about the coffee mug.
We got some good. We got some things on there
nice,
for
nice,
you.
Nice.
Something for everybody.
Something for everybody, man. Something for everybody.
Yeah, but let's hit them with that first topic.
Yeah, let's get right into it, man. I mean, over the weekend, we had Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz. That's a fight that, you tuned into.
Yeah, I tuned into that one.
Now, what about the undercards? How were the undercards?
So the undercards were decent. I would say the best one was the Serrano-Hardy fight.
Serrano's a beast.
Man.
She's a beast.
I've never tuned into women's boxing before, but to watch those two go at it, I mean, that might have been the best fight of the night. Might have been the best fight of the night.
Probably.
Yeah, because I mean, Jake Paul and Diaz was cool, but I mean these women were battling.
Now I'll be honest, I didn't catch that fight or the main event.
Yeah.
But I've seen Serrano in the past in previous fights, and right now for women's boxing, man, they're on the rise.
Yeah,
they're on the rise, and she can throw with both hands, and she lets her hands go.
Yeah. Oh,
quick.
Yeah,
she's fast.
Yeah, she was textbook, man.
Yeah,
she looked good out there. It was definitely a good fight. Shout out to those two because they did get emotional at the end. I don't know if you saw the.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
So after the fight was over, I guess they've known each other for a while.
Oh,
yeah. So they've known each other. So they're like friends, boxing, going at it with each other. But they were talking about, briefly talked about that early in their career. They didn't make any money,
right, as
women boxers.
Yeah,
they're over here fighting for nothing.
Yeah. And even men's boxers aren't making some of them aren't making the money that they should be for risking their lives.
Yeah, so this was like a huge payday for her and Hardy, and it was cool to see them. There was no trash talk, no nothing. It was all love, and
good for them.
They both got a nice payday, I'm sure.
Good for them. Love to see it, man.
Yeah, it was good to see, man. It was good.
That is one of the positives out of of Jake Paul's fights is that he gives other people an opportunity.
He does, yeah, because to be honest, I didn't know who Amanda Serrano was or Heather Hardy was up until yesterday.
Nice.
So
nice. That's pretty dope. What about the main event? What'd you think of the main event?
Man, I thought it was more entertainment than anything.
It is. That's why I don't. No, and it's no disrespect towards them. It's just I feel like it's scripted.
Yeah, like it's almost like I'm watching like a reality show.
WWE.
Yeah, WWE. Because dude, Nate Diaz, and I love Nate. I love me some Nate Diaz.
Yeah, he's a dog.
But dude, it looked like I don't know if he went to the bar before. He was like, shit, this is whatever, dude. Like,
yeah, he didn't look like
he wasn't even trying to fight.
He probably smoked a joint right before the fight.
He did something before that fight. No joke, he did, dude. If you watch him fight, you're like, what the hell is going on here?
Now, like I said, I didn't see the fight, but I did see some of the highlights. And I saw he put him in a guillotine.
He did.
And I don't know what round it was.
Towards the end.
Yeah, they put him in a guillotine.
That's why I think he was playing, bro. Like, I think he was just playing.
Yeah, no.
And I think Jake, that's what I said. I think he wanted to get paid. He don't care if he loses. It's just boxing.
Right.
It doesn't affect him.
Yeah, and it doesn't affect his professional record either.
Nope.
These are just like exhibition matches.
And it only helps his brand. I think he has that was a Real Fight Inc. or something like that, or he was repping something real.
Okay, I'm
real
not
fighting.
familiar, but
check
I'm
it.
sure.
Yeah, so he got paid, man. And I know Jake Paul is trying to do some, but I mean, looking at that, I was just like, man, it was just fun to watch.
Right.
It was just fun to watch.
And then the one fight that, I did catch was a week and a half ago. Or 2 weeks ago, I'm sorry. Yeah. No, a week ago.
I think it was
a week ago. A week ago. Man, time flies.
Yeah.
But a week ago. So it was Crawford versus Spence. And my guess is that undercard fight that you were just talking about with the two women.
Yeah.
That's how the intensity, the magnitude of that, like them just going back and forth, that's how Crawford Spence was. That fight right there lived up to all the hype. The only difference is that it was so one-sided. I don't know. Was that?
Yeah, it was super one-sided.
It was one-sided.
Yeah,
Serrano was just laying it on her.
Yeah, she was just hitting her.
Yeah, man. So in the Crawford Spence fight, this was a historical moment for boxing. So at the 147-pound division, there has never been during the four-belt era one undisputed champion. Yeah. Which means, they have all the belts, right?
Yeah.
So Spence going into the fight had 3 of them. Crawford had 1.
Damn.
This fight was like 5 years in the making. And one of the reasons why this fight was 5 years in the making is there's a lot of politics in boxing.
Right.
Just like anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Just like
money, it's all money.
Mm-hmm.
So Crawford was under a different promotional company. He was under Top Rank. While being under Top Rank, he couldn't fight. He could, but it's like frowned upon to fight somebody else from a different promotional company because you want to fight guys in-house and keep the money coming in.
Right. Yeah.
So, long story short, Crawford ends up getting out of his deal, and now he's able to fight Spence.
Damn.
Spence got all 3 of the belts the hard way.
Yeah.
He fought champion after champion after champion. He was even in a horrific car accident.
I heard about that.
Yeah, man. It was insane. Honestly, when I first saw it, I didn't think he was going to let alone walk again, let alone box again.
Yeah, that's what it was saying.
And a lot of people are saying that may have affected him a little bit in the fight.
You might not be right after that.
Yeah, I don't think you'll ever be the same,
Right.
I mean, he's had some just wear and tear on his body from it, but at the end of the day, no excuses.
Right.
He signed a contract, he got in the ring, and that fight, I knew Crawford had more tools in his toolbox, but I didn't think he was going to gut that man the way that he did.
Yeah, when I saw the highlights, he was giving it to him.
He took his... Now, credit to Spence, because Spence kept coming forward. He didn't fall. I mean, he fell, but I'm saying, like, he didn't go out on his back. He went out on his feet. The referee stopped it.
Yeah.
So he wanted to continue fighting. And that's something that we talk about, like, in the previous episode, like Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
Man, to be a boxer, to be a fighter, you got to be a different kind of individual.
You got to have it, man. You got to.
And we talk about like with our good friend Bryce Emery. He's a pro golfer.
Yep.
In sports like that where there's no other teammates, it's just you. Man, that's a lot of pressure.
Yep.
That's a lot of pressure. Your family, your friends, everyone's depending on you to go out there and win and to be victorious.
Yeah. And nobody can help you at that point. Like, because like Spence, I would think, even though we all don't think about losing, well, we're not supposed to. Shouldn't be thinking about losing. But in that fight, I mean, he's got to know, I'm losing right now. Like I'm getting tore up, and he stayed with it. Same thing with Hardy.
Yeah.
She knew she was getting tore up. She had to have.
Right.
But she's like, I ain't quitting.
I'm a warrior.
I ain't stopping. You got to kill me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That mindset. Yeah. So a ton of respect, man, to both male and female fighters.
Yeah.
Because they really gave the fans, the boxing fans, their money's worth these past 2 weekends. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was good 2 weeks of that.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I would have been able to catch the Crawford Spence fight but I wasn't able to. But the Jake Paul and Nate Diaz one, it lived up to, its entertainment hype. It was pretty good.
Right.
So we'll see who he fights next.
Yeah.
Supposedly they're supposed to go in the octagon. He put up
what?
10. Supposedly Jake said at the end, he goes, the deal is $10 million for the octagon, and Nate was like, I'm down.
Of course. How could you?
He's like, I already showed you what I put you in the guillotine.
Yeah.
So
and he's probably gonna choke. Yeah, he's probably
dude. If he does that, I mean, Jake. We gotta talk about Jake Paul too a little bit. He has a different type of mentality too. He's crazy and as goofy and as like all the dumb shit he says.
Yeah.
That dude up here, he's in another level, man.
He is.
He knows how to play the game.
And I give him credit. He's taken full advantage of all the attention that he has on him right now.
Yeah.
He is a marketing genius. I don't know who's a part of his team, but they've pretty much cracked the system on how to keep this thing going.
He makes all the right moves, man.
Yeah, and it's
That place was sold out. That dude, it looks sold out.
You know, my theory is that he's gonna eventually call out McGregor.
Yeah,
because I think a boxing fight between those two, and then even same thing. You know, I think what they'll do is they'll gauge and see how well the UFC fight between him and Nate does. Yeah. And if it does do well,
I think it will, man.
He'll call McGregor out.
Yeah, but I wonder if McGregor's done, man. I feel like he's on the business side now. I don't know if he wants to fight or needs to fight anymore.
Nah, he probably doesn't. But maybe to stay relevant, just to keep his name out there, he might take it.
Yeah, he might take it.
Because that's really what it is. I mean, even for Nate Diaz, it's like, hey, man, this whether I win, lose, or draw, this keeps my name buzzing. You know, checks coming in.
People love those two, man.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure, man.
All right, let's segue, man, to our next topic. So our next topic is going to be a little sci-fi.
Yeah, a little sci-fi action. I don't know
if our watchers and our listeners are ready for this, you know. And I want to put this disclaimer out there: we are not experts,
and we are not falling off the deep end either.
No. This is just something that happened recent. Well, it's been happening for the last, I don't know how many years, but. Aliens, UFOs, extraterrestrials.
They're finally here.
You know?
Finally here for real.
Some will say they've been here.
They've been here. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. What do you think about all the news and like the courtroom and like all that? What do you think about all that? So
half of it, I feel like it's just a show. It's just a stunt, to keep your, we've throwing this idea out there before. It's just a distraction, right? It's to distract you from something else. But then the other part of it is what if it's true? Right? Just for sake of saying, what if it is true?
Yeah, what if? Yeah.
I do believe that there's some advanced life form out there. Now, what it looks like, what it may be, don't know.
Yeah.
Can't tell you.
Right.
But I just think to me, it would make sense that you have all these galaxies, you have all these universes. Something else is probably out there, right?
Yeah.
What about you, man? What do you think?
I'm on the same page, man. I think there's a lot of unexplainable things, and I think the only way to explain it is to say that there's somebody else out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't make sense.
Yeah. And one thing I do find interesting is that it's not just the United States. I mean, there's been other government officials from all around the world, from different countries and whatnot, that have came out and said, like, this is real.
Yeah.
We've got spacecraft.
Right.
We've tried to reverse engineer some of the spacecraft. That's how we've got some of the technology that we have today.
Right.
And so it's not anything new. But do you think the world as a whole is ready for something like that?
I think they are, and I think it'll come and go. I feel like people now, they're like, all right, that's cool.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like, there's an alien over here. That's right. Like I got something.
I got bills to pay.
Yeah, I got something else going on anyway. So as long as you stay over there,
exactly.
Yeah, like I think people are gonna be. I think it just comes and goes.
Yeah, I don't think it's something that we should be afraid of.
No,
I mean, as a society, I think it's no different than one. I do remember in my earlier 20s, I came across something called the zoo hypothesis, right? And what that simply states is that if these beings are as intelligent, or let's say that they're 5 times more intelligent than we are, right? They're just coming down here to observe us.
Yeah, see what's going on.
Just to see what's going on, Yeah. And I mean, I've seen a bunch of funny memes, man, where they're like, if I was an alien and I drive by Earth, I'd be like, that place is ghetto.
Yeah, that place nothing like ours.
Exactly. But the zoo hypothesis states that there's no need for them to interfere with us, because the same way that you or I may walk outside and you may see an ant on the ground, you're not going to disturb it. Why? Because you're going on about your business. It's going about on its business. There's no need for you to interact. Right. And so for the people that say, well, why haven't they shown themselves? Well, it's like, dude, if you could travel at the speed of light and control gravity and fly between galaxies, you're not worried about what they're doing down there. You're just not, But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just a hypothesis.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's so many like rabbit holes you can go down with this. It's just, it's nuts, man. But I just, I just think, when I see some of these videos, I'm like, man, at this point in time, it's hard to say whether a video is real or not, or if a picture is real or not.
True. Yeah, you got CGI.
I mean, dude, it's so crazy now.
Yeah.
So crazy now.
Yeah.
But
now, what about religion? Because that's something that I think is, for a lot of religious people, it's a touchy subject.
Yeah.
Because it could change their entire fabric of what they believe.
Right. Right.
And I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But I and I say this, but I don't believe we should live in fear. So even if even if they were to, for whatever reason, show themselves, right? They made it known. That doesn't necessarily change everything. That doesn't necessarily change our entire history. It just means that we now have information that we weren't aware of previously.
Right. Right.
So we just have to adapt.
Which I mean, in some history, like they talk about these people that were like super giants.
Yeah.
So I mean,
we don't.
If it's in history, like going that far, I mean, then maybe it is real. Like they just left.
Yeah. It's possible.
Like maybe they came. Yeah, maybe they came. Hooked some things up, and they're like, "All right, now we know how to get back here." So we'll see.
Yeah, left a map.
Yeah, left a map.
The road map back.
Yeah, and then they're like, "All right, you guys got it from here."
No, and
then that's it.
Yeah, and you're right, because there are a bunch of like older ancient civilizations that have drawings in caves showing the solar system, and this is thousands and thousands of years ago, and it's like, how would they know that without somebody
teaching you?
Yeah.
It's like it goes. You have to learn it somewhere.
Have you seen the movie Prometheus?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so Prometheus is like a sci-fi movie, but and this is another. And once again, I'm not an expert. These are all just theories and things that you see like in movies and stuff over the years. But in the movie Prometheus, what they're saying is that we, present day human beings, were engineered by extraterrestrials in the past. So they took caveman's DNA, and then they took some of their DNA, modified it, and then created us.
What we have,
Super far stretch, but at the same time,
we
just don't know. We don't know how long human beings have been on the planet.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah,
there's a lot that we don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot we don't know, and we probably never know.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just like, man, if you guys gonna come, man.
Yeah, invite them over for the barbecue.
Invite them over. Yeah, because now, I mean, the other part is, this was the other part that I thought about when all this was coming out, was, so we have testing of flying cars now, right? They're going to cost like $300,000.
Right.
But how long have we been watching flying cars for on TV?
In sci-fi? A long time. Since the Jetsons even.
Right. So I think, and this is just my theory, that all these movies we've been seeing is just because they've been putting it out for so long.
Yeah.
Because we've already had it. Like, they've already knew we've had it. And then now it's just like, well, now there's too much technology, so now the shit gets leaked.
Right.
And now the secret's out.
Right.
But I mean,
and
it's gotta be real somewhere, man.
It's a very real possibility. And then you even ask yourself too, in the last 100 years,
right?
That's a lot of technology.
Yeah.
In 100 years.
Right.
We went from horse and buggy to being able to fly to the moon. Like that's.
Yeah, it's got to come from somewhere,
man. That's in within one generation.
Yeah.
That happened. So I don't know who's to say, but I mean it's always pretty cool to think about. Like if you're if you want to get nerdy about it.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, in the grand scheme of it all, man. There's nothing we can do about it.
Right. Nothing we can do about it.
No,
can't.
No.
All you can do is learn from them.
Yeah.
Take an electives class with the aliens. They'll teach you something.
Maybe we'll have one on the podcast.
We might have to get 50 years from now they'll be all right. We're gonna need a bigger studio though, because if they're like 20 feet tall, I don't know how he's getting in here.
Yeah, I don't know either, man. I don't know. Maybe in some Ant-Man and shrink himself down or something.
Yeah, he could probably do something crazy. But on to another subject.
Yeah.
You know, less fun, or maybe it's fun to some people. Talking about goals, priorities, minors, and majors in life. All right, so there's 3 things we're gonna dive into. First one is gonna be goals, man. Mm-hmm. Goals. What do you think about goals?
I'll be honest, man. Goals are extremely important.
Yeah.
And they are necessary.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna say that I'm the best goal setter.
Right.
You know, or that I've hit all the goals that I've tried to achieve in my life. But having goals gives you something to aim at. You know.
Yeah.
You know, it's. If you don't have something to aim at, what are you? You know, you're kind of lost.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. You know? What do you think is the most important part of goals?
The most important part.
Yeah,
of goals?
like when you set a goal, what's the most important part? Like achieving the goal, or what you learn in the process?
I believe it. Honestly, it's more of what you learn in the process.
Yeah.
Now, you're not gonna hit every goal.
No.
That's the honest truth. You know?
It's a reality.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. You know, and then when you don't hit a goal, give yourself some grace.
Yep.
You know, don't beat yourself up. Don't be too hard on yourself. But then just try harder next time.
Yep.
You know, and your goals are going to change. You know, for the younger people out there, your goals may start off very small.
Right.
You know, and then they may turn into something very big.
Right.
So you want to keep checking in. I mean, the best way to do it right is to write it down.
Yeah,
so that way
definitely
you can
write it down.
Physically and visibly see it.
Yeah.
You know, and you know where it's at, and you can go to it. It's a daily reminder that, hey, this is what I'm aiming for.
Right.
You know, and going back to, you know, manifestation and
The
Secret and different things like that, you become what you think about.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
On a consistent basis. So you want to make sure that you keep these goals in your mind.
Yep.
And keep aiming downfield.
Yeah, definitely, man. I agree with all that, because the experience that you gain from all these goals, whether you fail or succeed, I mean, that's what you're looking to achieve anyway.
Yep.
You know, just the experience, what you learn, what you didn't learn, your mistakes along the way, why you didn't achieve it, things like that. Because they give an example when I was reading the book that I was telling you about. Mm-hmm. Says you could give anybody $1 million, mm-hmm. but if they don't have the skills or the knowledge or the experience to handle $1 million, they're just gonna lose that money.
It's true.
I mean, it's like the lotto ticket stories.
Yeah.
Why do they always all go bankrupt? Because
mm-hmm.
they don't know what to do with that money.
Yeah, they didn't know how to manage it in the first place.
Yeah, they don't even know where to put it. They just know how to spend it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they say, but if you tell a millionaire you take all his money away, mm-hmm. he could probably do it. He'll make it back.
He did it once, he could do it again.
Right. So like when you think about that, you're like, damn. So it ain't about like getting to the goal. It's about what I learned. So that way I can do it again if something, mm-hmm. if all else fails. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, like, you know, something as simple as this podcast.
Right.
If all else fails, all our shit burns, all of it goes away. We learned a lot. We
learned a lot.
Dude, we could probably do it just as faster the second time.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
For sure. And look at how many amazing guests we've had on so far. And, you know, once again, we always want to say thank you to all the guests that come on.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, they've helped us grow.
Yeah.
There's things that we've learned from them.
Yeah.
So
tons of stuff, man. Tons of stuff.
Man.
Yeah. So go, you know, when you're setting your goals, set them, make them seem impossible too. I always think like, man, set a goal. You don't even know how you're going to get there.
Yeah.
Because that's the best one.
Yeah.
Because you're going to figure the way out.
Did you catch, real quick, J. Cole's interview with Bob Myers?
No, I didn't. Okay. I'm going to have to watch that one.
Well, he mentions about goal setting to be a little delusional.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
Because, So
otherwise it's no fun.
Yep. Yeah.
Otherwise, no fun. And then I picked up this good quote, man, from the book. It says, income rarely exceeds personal development. Income rarely exceeds personal development. And I mean, when you hear that, what do you think of?
I think of, you know, ironically, the book is written by, is it Jim Rohn?
Yeah,
is
Jim
that how
Rohn.
You pronounce his name?
Jim Rohn.
So what popped into my head is he specifically says, work harder on yourself than you do at your job.
Yeah, he does say that.
And it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
You know, but I will say this, you know, the things that we're discussing, these things are not, maybe they are, so they're more so being taught now in college, because I didn't go to college, so I don't know if it's being taught or not.
I don't know if they're being taught now, but they weren't taught when I was there, or at least the classes I was in, they didn't have them.
Right, and I bring that up because they don't teach you to work on yourself. Even in high school, everyone's teaching you how to think.
Right.
They're not teaching you how to think. They're teaching you what to think.
Yeah.
You know, everything is based off of this system of grades.
Right.
Right. It's like you have, you know, for the people who have great short-term memory, they exceed. They do well in school.
Yeah.
You know, they could wake up that day and take the test.
Yeah.
But then you graduate, you get this degree, and then you get into the real world, and you realize very quickly that degree doesn't mean that you're going to be successful.
No.
Right? And so that's like a gut punch for a lot of people that graduate college because they think right away that they're going to be successful. They're going to get the job that they wanted to. And, you know, they'll be able to start the family and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Buy the house and everything.
Right. Yeah. But, you know, when you have that moment of, well, you realize, wow, this is how the world really works, that's when that quote comes in handy.
Yep.
You know, work harder on yourself than you do at your job, because the better you get, right, then the better you can be in all these other areas and spaces of
definitely.
your life. Cool. And now what did you think of when you heard that quote first?
So obviously now that I'm older, I wish I would have heard it when I was younger, but now it's like it makes perfect sense because since I've been learning on this journey, I mean, it's been years, right? Since, I mean, you and I both. If you go think back to when you first started, my income has gone up, way up from where I was at when I first started. Yeah. So to read about this and then apply it, it's like it's true. It takes a while, but it is true. Your income will rise as you get better because you develop skills that people don't have.
Right.
So yeah, me and you could go to the same college.
Right.
But if that's all it is, and I'm like, all right, I went to school, but now I'm gonna just work on me. Work up here, maybe get some, you know, tools with my hands, learn something. In 10 years, I guarantee you, the person who worked on themselves in those 10 years and worked the job, they're gonna be in a better place than the other one.
I agree.
For sure. Because there's a stat that came out on Valuetainment.
Okay.
And Patrick McDavid, his podcast, and he was saying, you know, the average person who comes out of college is making like $60,000. After taxes, that's like $42,000.
Yep.
So what are you gonna do with $42,000? I mean, by yourself, you're all right.
Right. But having a family.
But next year, you're gonna make what, $43,000?
Yeah.
Or 48?
Yeah.
Because they're only gonna give you a certain raise. So then people think, you know, sit back and you're like, well, what do I do now?
Yep.
I went to school already.
Yep.
Yeah, that's like this much of the equation. Yeah. School is that much of the equation.
And I don't know this, but I'm sure you would know this, is because I've heard some of my customers tell me that have their bachelor degrees, they feel like their bachelor degree is the same as, you know, almost a high school diploma now. You almost have to go for your master's.
Yeah.
Is that true or no?
I think it depends on where you're at. You know, depending on what field you're in. You know, if you I think corporate, I think they do require it. I think they want you to have a master's in order to make more money. But then you think about how much does a master's cost?
Right.
And then how much of a raise am I going to get?
Right.
Because now I'm trying to figure out how I can get my money back. How long is it going to take for me to get my money back?
Yeah, your ROI.
Yeah, what's my ROI to go back to school? Yeah. Oh, well, you make 85 now. When you get done with school, you make 90. So I'll make $5,000 more, which isn't that much because you take away taxes. It's not $5,000. So it's like, then what should I do? Right. Or Malcolm and David, what should I do?
Right.
I don't know. Get your real estate license or sell some houses, buy some houses. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Go get your barber license. Yeah. You'll probably make more in a day than you would at your job.
Yep.
But
and that's going to take time.
It's going to take time.
It's going to take time. You know, for you, it takes time to build the portfolio and the clientele. right? And the same thing for me.
Right.
It takes time to build the clientele.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not something that's going to happen overnight.
No,
so we want you guys to know that as well. Like whatever it is that you choose to do,
right?
You know, outside of whether it is going to school or not going to school,
right?
It's going to take time,
right?
You know, for it to build,
right? And when I think about income, rarely exceeds personal development. Personal development is you have to, like we talk about, you're gonna try so many things. You're gonna read so many books, and you're gonna get inspired. You're like, man, I should do this, I should do that, and you should try it. If you're gonna fail, but that's why I always tell people, you got to keep one faucet on. Yeah, this is not you going saying, all right, I'm quitting my job tomorrow and I'm gonna go do this. No, you got to keep the faucet on, because that's gonna fund your other stuff. Right. And then when you start turning on a couple faucets, now you're like, all right, I can turn this one down a little bit. I don't really care about this one no more. Yeah. No, that's true. Or leave it, you know, leave it off.
That's true.
So yeah, when I was going through this, man, I mean that little quote, it was like,
stuck out.
Oh yeah, it stuck out, man. Because then you want to go search for more. You just keep searching for more. And you keep growing. You know,
it's almost. I think personal growth and personal development. You know, and we also have to be careful of this as well. But it can become addictive.
It can.
You know.
Yeah.
The self-help movement right now. You know, that you have to find a healthy balance as well.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want people to go to the deep end where, you know, you're, and I'm just using him for an example. You know, he has motivated a lot of people, and he's even motivated me. But like a David Goggins, you know, waking up at 4 a.m. every day. And
he's crazy. I ain't working. Sorry, man, I ain't waking up at 4.
But you get, like, to me, that's extreme.
Yeah.
You know, some human beings, of course, there's the top 1% that can do something like that. But you know, find a healthy balance for yourself. Don't, you know, find yourself working 18 hours out of the day, you know, and then going home and, you know, studying for 3 hours and then taking a 3-hour nap and then doing it all over again for a year. You'll burn yourself out.
No, pace yourself, man. And like stick to a couple books, really study those, because, I mean, every time you read it again, you're going to find something new.
Right.
I don't remember reading that.
Right.
Yeah, so there's goals for you. Next thing is, a major thing we probably all deal with, priorities. What do you think about priorities, Cuzzo?
Man, some days you can check it off,
right?
And then other days, man, you got to call an audible.
Yeah, you got to.
Things come up, things happen. You know, so really, it's up to the person and their lifestyle. You know, I think there's a lot of factors that go into it, but ultimately, right, you want to make sure, man, that the really important things that you have at the top of the list, that you knock those out,
right?
You know, every single day, what that may mean to you. You know, I think of what I think of when I think of my top priorities, honestly, is like family.
Yep.
You know, making sure that those relationships are strong.
Yeah.
You know, being conscious of that, because you just don't know.
Right.
You just don't know nowadays.
Yeah.
That's up there. You know, obviously my work. You know, making sure that I'm providing a quality service. That's a top priority.
Yep.
You know.
No, I think real quick. I think sometimes people get work and family, the order mixed up.
I agree. It's so tough, man.
And it's tough because you gotta. One thing has to be sacrificed.
Yeah.
And it's tough to say which one's the better one for some people.
Yeah.
For me, it's an easy choice. I have an easy one.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't work. I promise you that. Mm-hmm. It ain't work.
Yeah. Because, and you know, to the people out there too, I say this, and it's no disrespect to anyone's job or their career, but if something were to happen to you tomorrow, your job will replace you.
Yeah. And the people ain't gonna remember you tomorrow.
But your family,
are they gonna remember?
Your close friends,
yeah.
You know, the people that really love you for you,
right?
They're gonna be the ones that are hurting. So you know, don't overwork yourself and don't give too much of yourself to your job.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I think I mean since I've been in real estate for, you know, gotten into it, I always think about what's my return. Mm-hmm. You know, is work going to give me a bigger return, or is being at home going to give me a bigger return?
Yeah.
Because the memories are endless, and they're priceless, bro. Like, go back. So when you were saying that, that's the first thing I thought of. Because priorities, man, you gotta figure out what you're willing to sacrifice, and that's why we talk about when we're talking about goals, when you're setting these priorities, people prioritize work sometimes because I think they're chasing the bag, or they're chasing some kind of achievement, thinking that's going to give them everything.
Right.
And then when you get there, like J. Cole said, like we talked about, it ain't as what it's all cracked up to be. And now your kid is 10, and you're like, damn.
Yeah, I missed
where'd the
his
time
childhood.
go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they reach the age where they don't want to play with you.
Nah.
Right. I mean, not play, but like they don't want to spend time with you because they're
they're older now.
Yeah, they're getting to that point where they're independent. Yeah. They want their own space. They want to hang out with their friends.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. So when I was reading through this, they talk about not blending your years together. So, in your year to year, you should be, it sounds like, some people, being organized sometimes sounds stressful to people, but you want to prioritize at least your year, so that way, by the end of the year, you've accomplished something. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was your goals or whatever it was, spending time, like you said. Maybe you hit it hard for work that one, a quarter, like Rakia talks about. She's like, I do my life in quarters. You remember when she was saying that?
Yeah.
And she's like, in this quarter, I'm doing it. So I like, and that's how you have to be. You have to break it down that way, because you never know when times are going to change.
No, that's true.
So and it talks about changing with the times too, like Rakia talks about. Some changes, you got to change too.
Yeah. Be able to handle the seasons, right?
The seasons of life. That's a totally different episode too.
Yeah, we'll save that.
Yeah, we'll save that one. But yeah, the seasons of life, man. When to slow it down, when to pick it up, when to just let it ride.
And once again, these aren't things that are taught to you in school.
Right.
They're not. You're there to show up and to get a grade.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Your personal life and all of that stuff, your family.
Yeah.
That you leave that the moment you walk through that classroom.
Yeah.
You leave that at the door.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Or your job, you leave that. So. Yeah, man. Yeah. This is crucial.
Yeah. So definitely take the time to look into some of these things we're talking about. Because we both believe they're very important. They've helped us both out in this so far up to this point in life.
Right.
So lastly, man, minors and majors of life. We're not talking about school, but what is the first thing that
pops into my head when I think of minor? Minor is like things that I want to do, and then major is like things that I have to do.
Yeah. What's a major thing in life that you have to do? I was going to say it quick for you, but
I was going to say take care of myself.
I was going to say the gym.
Yeah, that entails it. Yeah. So it's the gym, it's playing basketball, it's working out. It's some kind of movement to keep my body and my mind active.
Yes.
Because if I'm not doing those things, I feel off.
Yeah, man.
I feel really off. And anybody out there that doesn't know that feeling, try it. Try hitting the gym or being active for even a month.
Yeah.
And then, take a break and see your day-to-day kind of, it just feels off.
Yeah.
It just feels off.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So what did you think of when you,
Yeah, the gym was, when it comes to just me, I would say the gym is a major. Spending time with my kids is a major. But I'll just say in family in general is a major. Yeah. So that's a definitely major.
That's up there.
Yeah, it's up there. So I think with those things being majors, then everything else gets kind of prioritized around it. And minors, I break them up just like you do. It's like things I kind of want to do, but I don't have to do.
If I don't get to it, it's okay.
Yeah, like I shouldn't spend, like minors are just things that we shouldn't spend that much time on.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be spending a whole lot of time on just minor things.
Yeah.
And the major stuff, you should be spending a lot of time. Yeah.
What do our boys over at the Always Vibing podcast say? They say take care of home first.
Yo, take care of home. You gotta take care of home first, man. Yeah. So and it talks about, I guess like the example was a parent spending 3 hours watching, let's say, Netflix. And 10 minutes spending with the kid. So you just spend major time on a minor thing, which was watching TV. So like that's the way to break it up or break it down. That's the way you break it down with the minors and majors. So
and I'll be honest, that's a tough thing for people. Like if a person's never really thought about it, it can kind of be like, well, wow, I didn't realize how much time I was wasting watching TV.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
all of us do it.
Right. It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's just like things we got to, because this is just things we recognize on our own. I mean, shit, there's a lot of times where I'd probably be spending too much time doing nothing. You know, and my kids running around, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't play with you. Damn, almost bedtime.
Right.
You know, so we've all been there. Yeah. It's just a matter of like,
it's part of the human experience.
Recognizing,
for sure.
Like, hey man, like you're spending major time on some minor things, man. Don't do that.
For sure.
Don't do that. Yeah. And then the one thing that tied into the podcast was they said don't go across town until you've gone across the street. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about leaving Aurora or leaving home to go try to do it somewhere else, you know, you haven't even started here yet.
Try it here first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try it here first, and then if it doesn't work out, then maybe try somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, majors and minors of life, man. Definitely a good way to break up your day to day. You know, so that way you don't get lost in it.
Lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce, man. Lost in the sauce. Yeah. But with that, Cuzzo, I mean, you got anything to leave them with?
No, I think that, you know, everything that we talked about in this episode, I mean, I know we jumped around, but what we're trying to do also, too, with our episodes is we're trying to break them up into different pieces, you know, a little something for everybody. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't always have to be super serious,
right?
You know, all the time and super, you know, underneath the surface, you know, we're human, you know, sports. We always try to tie sports in with mentality and mindset and all of that. Yeah. And then, you know, some current events. Yeah. We got some current events going with the UFO stuff. And we just want to keep continuing to try and structure it a little bit differently. Give you guys something different so it's not the same thing every time. Yeah,
you know? Leave a comment. Some feedback, see how you like it.
We always ask if you guys can like, share, comment. We greatly appreciate it. You know, as we said in the beginning of the episode, that's a really nice fresh hoodie you got, clean hoodie.
Yeah,
you know,
fresh hat.
If you guys could support us, we would greatly appreciate it.
Yep.
But we always thank you guys for watching and listening.
Definitely.
And we will catch you guys on episode 27. Take care. Peace.